welcome back to Badass Fans Live. We're here with Smoke Season today. Thank you guys for coming in.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah. We're going to do a spin on the wheel first, if you guys are willing to. So we have a bunch of kind of random topics, and I'll spin it, and you'll tell me when to stop. And whatever it lands on, you're telling us a story, you're answering something, whatever.
Do it.
All right, who's going first?
You go first.
Okay, I'll go first.
Okay, ready?
Stop.
Record talk?
Ooh.
All right. So tell us what one of your top 5 favorite records is and why.
Oh my gosh. This one's always very hard.
I know.
Maybe what just came to mind was the Beatles' Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band.
Nice.
Yeah, that's just an amazing achievement of recording George Martin, the Beatles. Everybody's heard it, obviously. So, and it's amazing on vinyl as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very warm.
Sweet.
So.
Nice.
Yeah.
All right, Gabby, you ready?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm ready. Stop.
Ooh, I feel like that's in between. You can do with famous song you wish you'd written,
Okay.
or one thing that you love about your bandmates.
I can do both.
Ooh,
How about
okay.
that?
Wow.
Famous song I wish I had written. Well, right now I'm moderately in love with Zayn's Pillow Talk, but I don't think Zayn wrote that. Who wrote that? Whoever wrote
We don't
that.
know.
I love that song. I also love, my favorite song of all time is Chris Cornell's Sun Shower. It's a B-side from Chris Cornell. It's on the Great Expectations soundtrack if you want to like search it out, but that song is just like so visceral. That's the best way to describe it.
Yeah.
It's like so sensory. But and then what I love about my bandmates, they all know how accident prone I am, and it's kind of like after a couple of years of touring together and stuff, they are always on the lookout for like me not like breaking something, or like it's funny how like every one of them has this like little thing where they're like, oh no, like wait, don't
We
do that.
try and we fail though. That's the problem.
It's really sweet and endearing. Everyone's like, oh God, don't make that up. Don't, oh God, oh man.
That's cute.
Yeah. I love lots of other things, but that's like a funny trait
Nice.
they've all adopted.
All right, so are we ready for some general band questions?
Sure.
Yeah.
All right, when and why did each of you guys start playing music?
I started playing when I was really young, probably like 6 years old, and I just gravitated towards playing. I remember my grandmother bought us an upright piano, and it was just appeared one day in our house, and I was like, oh, what's that? And I kind of just started playing, and I was kind of just fascinated by the sounds and just the way the tones work together. And yeah, I mean, I feel like that love just kind of perpetuates and keeps going, and you know, even when you get older, you're just always trying to find that, you know, surge of just excitement that happens while you're playing. So, yeah, so that's kind of how I started, and yeah, I just went from there.
Nice.
I don't honestly remember a time when I didn't play, to be honest. I started piano lessons. Like, I guess I was like singing as soon as I could talk, but my mother was like, oh, maybe we should get her piano lessons, because I was like 5 and singing a lot. And then it like each instrument was a different. I look back and think like, oh, when I started learning that instrument, it was like a really specific period of my life. But like piano was the first, and then guitar, I must have been like 10 when I started. I'm like, guitar is cooler than piano. And then it was like, I tried to learn drums, and then it was like, I want to like learn how to do like sampling, and like that was like my college situation.
Yeah.
But it's like each phase of my life, like an instrument came out of it, sort of.
Yeah, actually, it's funny because I had a similar thing where, because I started playing guitar when I was like 11 or 12 or so, and it was, I had an acoustic guitar though, and I was like, I just want an electric guitar, because I asked my parents for a guitar, and they got me an acoustic guitar. I'm like, I just want an electric, but finally graduated to electric guitar. But, you know, it's just, you're always trying to, you know, get that feeling out, and it's trying to, you know, figuring out what the method's going to be, whether it's keyboards or guitar. I played bass for a while too in high school, and even some drums and stuff. So it's just, you know, kind of just jumping around and finding instruments to get that emotion out, you know. So.
Yeah.
It's also the band thing. Like, so, like, I was like, I want to be in this cool band in high school, and they're like, we don't have a bassist. I'm like,
yeah, they never have a bassist.
I can play bass.
I played in like 4 different bands in high school playing bass.
They're like, there's something, I don't think your bass is very good. I'm like, yeah, I can get better. Yeah.
And how did you two meet?
We shared a rehearsal studio. So his old band and my old band shared a rehearsal studio, and we met and actually ended up accidentally writing one of our first singles.
Oh, wow.
Well, actually, our first single.
Yeah, because I was staying after my rehearsal, I guess, and then you were coming in, and then there was just sort of, I started playing this riff. It was this song called Soleil that ended up being that song, and then she was like, oh, what's that? And started doing chords, and then voila.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Wow.
It was the most random rehearsal space in North Hollywood.
So why the name Smoke Season?
Well, we are both East Coasters who came to the West Coast for, like, we didn't know each other on the East Coast. We met on the West Coast, but it was like growing up on the East Coast for both of us was kind of like, there was like our own little personal manifest destiny. Like, I want to get to California. Like, I want to go west. Like, I feel growing up on the East Coast, I grew up in Connecticut. He grew up in a suburb outside of New York City, and I was always like a bit of a weirdo compared to the kids in my town. Like, I'm like, and then when I came to Los Angeles for the first time, like, everyone's sort of like a weirdo.
Yeah.
Like, that's where the misfits of like the country kind of like congregate. And then it was sort of just felt like a manifest destiny. Like, I needed to move west. And so when we got here, though, both of us realized that there's like a lot of people constantly blowing smoke in your ear or up your ass. Like, you get off stage and they're like, I know this producer.
Yeah.
I know this person. You got to meet this person. And you're just like, there's lots of promises. And like, so the upside to coming to California was like, we were around people that didn't make us feel so odd.
Yeah.
The downside was that everybody is always making promises in some way, shape, or form, and they don't always manifest. So we called it the smoke season. Like, Hollywood is the smoke season. It's like people are like smoke and mirrors. It's always like blowing smoke in your ear kind of thing. That was the...
When we said we were the reprieve from the smoke season.
Yeah, so like we were trying to make sure like our band philosophy was like no bullshit.
I like that.
Yeah.
I do.
It's that New Yorker mentality.
I came from a small town, and then I lived in Fresno before I moved here, and I felt the same. Like, after I started to like get into the scene here and stuff, I'm just like, God, so many people are so full of shit.
Yeah,
It's like ridiculous.
Yeah.
You have to like.
I'll definitely
maneuver
be
around
there.
that.
I'll be there,
Yeah.
and then they like never come.
Yeah.
But it's like not a personal insult. It's just like they just don't. Whereas like if you took that behavior to like our friends who we grew up with in New York, like that would be super insulting to them.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, it is still. That's a super generalization. Like, of course, people are still like insulted by that.
Yeah.
But it's just much more accepted and universal here.
Totally.
It's like things change.
Yeah. So what do you feel like is a challenge being a band in Los Angeles?
Well, not all of them, but a lot of the bands that are like up and coming are moving to LA. So I actually don't find that I guess from a promotional perspective it'd be a challenge, but I find that more of like a benefit because you're constantly saturated in all this creation that's going on, creativity around you, and you're like you can't help but it like feed off of it.
Yeah.
But I guess from a promotional perspective, it's a bit of a downside because there's so many fucking good bands playing on any given night that you're like, everyone, whereas like with Fresno, like we would be like, come out to the show, and everyone's like, yeah, that's what's happening tonight. But like you see that in Los Angeles, and there's like no, but like at the Satellite, the Echo, like Bootleg, like there's a good band playing at every single one of them. So it's the competition is high, but you just have to spin it so that it positively affects you.
Just say you gotta just kind of stick to what you're doing, and because the thing is, there are so many bands, so you have to just kind of do your own unique take on and stay true to what your vision is for it, and that will sort of rise and capture attention. But yeah, it's hard because there's so many bands. So.
But I wouldn't want to be a band right now. I wouldn't want to be a band in any other city in the States.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Because I feel like LA is having its renaissance. It's artistic renaissance, and it's just so fucking rad that we are living through that.
Yeah.
You know, like I've been here for 8 years. You've been here for like 7 or something, and like in those 8 to 7 years, like the music scene has just exploded, and the bands coming out of here are like truly, I mean, they're going to be historical, you know? So there's just so awesome to love music so much and to be in that spot in history at the right time where you're like, fuck, this is cool.
Yeah. What are you guys having coming the rest of 2016?
We are already in the works of planning a big summer tour.
Sweet.
So in June, we'll be doing our vinyl release. It's coming out like around mid-June.
Yeah.
We've yet to secure the exact date, but it's going to be sometime around like middle of June.
Yeah.
And then we'll probably be just gearing up to get on the road.
Rad. That's awesome. Are you doing full like U.S.?
Yeah.
The whole shebang?
Cross
Nice.
The whole
country.
shebang. But the most exciting thing that's happening for the rest of our year is that this EP that we did, we teamed up with A+ Films and we made a series of music videos, and when we put them together, it's one film.
Yeah.
And when I say that was a big project, it took us. Scott Fleischman of A+ Films and I wrote the screenplay last April, and casted it, shot for the entire summer. There's over 50 people in the cast. So we've already released the When the Smoke Clears and the Loose music videos for it. But the film is coming out in September, and it's 22-minute long, like short film. But it's probably, we've scored the whole thing. Like, it's probably our most beloved artistic achievement to this point, and we're just so excited for everybody to see it. So it's gonna have a festival life cycle. So
rad.
We're just figuring out which festivals now.
So now we're filmmakers.
Now we're filming. Well, not us.
Yeah,
Basically, A+ Films entertained they're like, yeah, this could be cool.
Yeah.
And they're like, you're not filmmakers, but we'll help you.
That's rad. That'll be really cool.
So we're super stoked, and we're just so like grateful to a lot of we realized actually how many talented actor friends we had when we started working on this, and we're so grateful for everyone who like put in the time to be a part of it, because fuck, man, acting, hats off to them.
Yeah.
Because I don't.
It was cool to just see them, to just be on set and watch them do what they do. It just like transcend and just speak the lines, because you read on paper, it's like, okay, but then to actually emote it.
Yeah.
And there's not a lot of dialogue in the film as well.
So it's subtle
actions. Subtle subtleties.
Yeah. It's just really impressive to watch somebody do their craft, and you're just like, I could never do that. That's awesome.
Stick to the music.